It is time to talk about nature journaling. But guess what? Something happened in the vernal pool. What do you think it was? Let's take a peek. Well, I didn't see any eggs last week, but my husband did. And so now he showed them to me. They are hard to find. Look closely. See those little tadpoles in those eggs? Next week, maybe we'll see them swim all over. Now let's talk about this week's drawing and writing. Howdy, 2nd and 3rd grade Wild Riders of Mamaroneck. It is good to see you again. We last met by the side of the creek, and today we're by the side of the barn, where I wanted to show you how I added some color again to my pages. I like to do that. I like to go back, and as you recall, I talked about there are lots of grays and browns and almost sunsetty colors. So I took my colored pencils and added those in. And the little orange trail is where that bug walked. I imagined it made little orange footprints, even though it didn't. And as I colored this in, it allowed me a chance to think about what I saw again. I also took the phrases that we wrote about, I notice, I wonder, and it reminds me of, and I highlighted those in red and in purple and in green to help me remember this way of thinking. I thought I would do this again and share it with you. What I did is I did take one of those little beech leaves and I did rubbings of it here. I put the leaf underneath the paper, and with the side of my colored pencil, I could have used a crayon, maybe with the paper off, I rubbed and then created the shape of the leaf. And I wrote the date and the time and what I was thinking. I've always loved collecting leaves. I've pressed them into my books and journals, and I tell about that. And then I said, I noticed the veins go to the end of the leaf and then stick out a little bit. I wonder how exactly the water travels through a leaf. And I'm also thinking about how it reminds me of the veins in the shape of a leaf like that remind me of a map, the way they extend out in little lines. So this habit of thinking, I notice, I wonder, and this reminds me of, I could do with these burdocks here. You can see they're stuck to me. These little burdock seed heads, I could say, I notice they're very spiky. I wonder how many seeds are inside each one. It reminds me of, and I might say, it reminds me of a stem of suns, or a little sun. And some of you may have seen burdocks before. Our dogs often get them caught in their tail. But this habit of mind, I notice, I wonder, and it reminds me of, this is a way we can think again and again. So I wish you joy in your nature journal. We will be continuing to write in our journals over the next bits of time. And certainly while we talk about things together, you are most welcome. It's encouraged to take your nature journal and do some other nature work of your own, whatever it is. You might think back to the slideshow that you saw about what is a nature journal, or rewatch that and say, what might else I like to try to add into my nature journal? So I'll be doing that this week, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Writing in my nature journal helps me feel close to nature. I observe carefully and draw slowly. Sometimes I might bring a bit of nature home for my journal. And I like to go back and add color and words and more thinking. Sometimes nature will stick to you when you write in your nature journal. These burdocks stuck to me. Minnie Monster the cat doesn't write in a nature journal. Right now, he's resting in nature. The whole world is changing all the time, and we can capture this on paper. Wild Riders of Mamaroneck, I wish you discoveries and adventures in your own nature journals this week. See you soon.